The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Now, this is one of the most controversial and yet best selling books that I've ever read. It has some of the most painful, punch you in the face kind of lessons that are basically, and I quote the author here, green veggies for your brain. They taste like shit, but they're good for you in the long run. So, today I'm going to give you a small overview of the book and what I have taken as lessons and what I have implemented into my life. So, chapter number 1 is Don't Try. Now, straight away, it just goes bang on with the controversial advices, but it's not what you think. Let's just get into it, yeah? Humans are the only organisms who have the ability to conceptualize an emotion. Let's say you're trying to wake up early for a class tomorrow and for some reason you just couldn't. Now you get angry about the fact that you are not able to wake up for class. And then you get angry about the fact that you're even angry in the first place. I mean, it's just a class. Then you get angry about all the things in your life and you're like, oh, I can't get anything right. You see how it just goes on and on and on? This is what Mark refers to. Mark Manson is the author of the book. He refers to this as the feedback loop from hell. Now, you may be asking, what's the solution to this? The only solution to this is, wait for it, to not give a fuck. And it's easier said than done, actually. If you can't give a fuck about anything, then you're not human, you're just a psychopath. The way around it is to give a fuck about things that actually matter in your life. To actively give a fuck about the things that you truly want to give a fuck about. And these include the struggles that you want to overcome in your life, your goals, your ambitions, the values that you set in your life, etc. Chapter number 2 is Happiness is a Problem. We are 0 and 2 for the controversy, guys. Everybody has some sort of unhappiness in their life, some sort of disappointment. And we tend to set our goals and our dreams based off of these emotions. But the problem is, if we set what we want to achieve in life based off the emotion that it may give us, based off the happiness that you may achieve from it, chances are you won't stick around when the struggles arise. It's not going to be all ups, you know this. Emotions are temporary, and if you set your goals based off of them, chances are your goals and dreams will be temporary too. So set your goals based off of the struggles that you want to go through in life. Ask yourself, what pain am I willing to struggle through? Chapter number 3, You Are Not Special. And this is not me telling it to you, this is the book itself. So, hat trick, let's go. Our society has this tendency to make us believe that we are entitled in some sort of way. It's either I have everything and they have nothing, so I am special and I deserve everything, or it's they have everything, I have nothing, so I am special and I deserve everything. No matter how you think about it, it always just comes back to you. It's always selfish. This sort of mentality, whether we like it or not, tend to be ingrained into us, and we won't even know until we've genuinely acknowledged them, genuinely looked into ourselves and asked, okay, am I this sort of person? Do I have that in me? Entitlement causes a lot of fragility in your life. You tend to think, I am entitled, I need this, I should be getting this. But the problem is you won't be working for it. You won't be going through the struggles, the embarrassments, the ups and downs, all of it. You just tend to want something, and when you don't get what you want, you tend to blame it on society. This chapter encourages us to accept that we are not special. And with that acceptance comes a lot of freedom. You tend to not give a shit about, proving yourself to others. You get to focus on what actually matters to you. You get to set your values right. So, you're not special. And that's good. Chapter number 4 is You Are Always Suffering. Life is gonna suck, period. There is no way in hell that you can ever change that. If you want a good body, if you want to look great, you're gonna have to go through all the sweat, all the soreness, all the fatigue, all the diets, all the times that you actually missed and you felt really bad about it. If you want a good relationship, you're gonna have to go through all the arguments, all the compromises, and everything. Now, I'm not discouraging you here. It's just, that's just how life is. Life is going to suck. The trick is to prioritize what suffering you're willing to go through. It's to choose what you want to suffer through in order to achieve something that is bigger than the suffering. The problem here, though, is you will ask yourself, what if I just choose pleasure? What if I just chose my current happiness? And the problem is, that's a trap. You get what you want, you feel good, and then boom, just nothing. You are left wanting something more. There is no end to it if you choose happiness. The trick, again, is to choose something that you want to tolerate, that you would love to go through in order to achieve something that is genuinely valuable in your life. Chapter number 5, you are always choosing. This is sometimes, to a few people, very offensive as a chapter itself. It tells us that no matter what situation you are in, you are responsible. Had a shitty childhood? Okay, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility as to how to deal with it. The thing is, there's a difference between responsibility and blame. If suppose I say I take responsibility for this, it does not necessarily have to mean that I take the blame for it. It may be someone else's mistake. Say someone dropped a baby at my doorstep yesterday. I didn't do it. It's not my fault that the baby is there, but it's my responsibility to do something about it. Even if I choose to ignore, I am still choosing to ignore. So it's still my responsibility. No matter how negative this feels, remember, responsibility is not a burden. It's power. It's power because you get to understand that you can genuinely change your life. You have the opportunity to choose where to be rather than being stuck with something. Chapter number 6, you are wrong about everything. Most of us seem to think that we have life all figured out. Spoiler, we actually don't. Most of our beliefs are incomplete, biased, or just, completely wrong. I mean, it should be common sense by now that most of the things that happen around us are just a matter of perspective. But when we cling to the idea that we have to be right all the time, even subconsciously, it tends to limit your growth. Hell, it just completely stops you from growing at all. Progress only occurs when you're willing to accept that you're wrong about something and you're willing to be curious about what the right thing actually is. Chapter number 7, failure is the way forward. Now, Mark punches grammar in the face here and tells us that failure isn't actually the opposite of success. It's literally the path to it. If you're not failing, that means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. The thing is, our society just tends to, de-glorify and discourage failure to the maximum. It tells us you should not fail, you should choose the most stablest of careers. It tells us to always follow the path that has been set before us. It tells us to not take risks. And even if they're not publicly announcing that, that is how we are told, that's how we are made to think in the entirety of our lives. Action creates motivation and not the other way around. You do something, you fail at it, you understand what you did wrong, and then you do it slightly better. The cycle just keeps going. Progress is ugly, it's embarrassing. That's okay, that's normal, that's how it's supposed to be. When you're starting out, you're not gonna get the best cards at the table. You're not gonna do everything right. You're not gonna get to 1 million subscribers in a month. That's not normal. Normal is working on yourself for months on end without anybody noticing. Progress is staying disciplined and not worrying about the embarrassments and failures that come along the way. Just prioritize learning from them. Chapter number 8, the importance of saying no. You can't be going around saying yes to everything and everyone. That just leaves you exhausted, resentful, and worst of all, mediocre. You can't say yes to something without actually saying no to something else. Your time, your sanity, your energy, etc. Setting boundaries is necessary. You have to be selective of where your fucks go. This is the case where you have to be selfish. Saying no is necessarily the best thing that you can do, because that automatically means that you're saying yes to something that you genuinely want to do in your life. That means you're gonna go and do something that you want to do Not half-assed, but fully committed to it. Now for the final chapter, chapter number 9, and then you die. We are at the end of the oddball topics here. This particular fact gets a little dark at first, but when you think about it, it is the most freeing mindset that you can have. Our lives are limited. We are mortal. You're gonna die. Everyone you know and love is going to die. That gives you the power to understand that dumb shit does not matter to you. It gives you the ability to select your fucks and let them go where you want them to go. It lets you to work on something that means more than you. Because at the end, when all you are is just a bunch of sand and dust, what truly matters is whether the fucks you spend on something actually meant something to you. So I truly recommend that you guys read it, because the experience that you get from actually reading it rather than someone just telling them to you is rather unique. If you like content like these, do let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to Him Protocol, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.